Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk through 10 fashion rules to break. Now these are all rules that I have kind of learned over the last probably 15 years or so that I've kind of felt I guess a bit outdated and don't really seem to reflect the current fashion climate. So I'm going to start from the top, which is all about mixing colors together, more specifically mixing black with brown and black with navy. I think my mum taught me this one when I was about 15 or 16 and it sort of stuck with me ever since. However, I personally really like the combination and I think that it is just such an old, outdated rule. I really love how navy and black pair together. I think it's a really subtle variation and it can look really elegant and very elevated. It's perfect for the office as well if you've got maybe navy trousers and a black shirt. I actually did an IGTV where I paired a floaty, gauzy black blouse with some navy shorts and I just thought it looked really lovely. Also, black and brown. I love wearing brown accessories whenever I'm wearing a black outfit. I just think it looks really nice, especially if it's saddle brown. I think it kind of just makes the color seem a lot more rich and a lot more saturated. So I think that is definitely a fashion rule worth breaking. The next one is that red lipstick is just for the evening, and I feel like I totally bought into this when I was younger. I used to feel like it was really sexy rather than being really fun and just a really vibrant way to jazz up your outfit, especially if you're wearing something that's a lot more minimal. I tend to wear really basic color palettes, so a lot of black, white, navy, blue, blush, taupey sort of colors. So for me, a red lip is a really great way for me to inject some color into my outfit without actually making me feel uncomfortable or like I don't feel like myself. So definitely another one worth breaking. Fashion rule number 3 is that horizontal stripes will make you look wider. Now, while I do agree that horizontal stripes can make you look wider, I think it's all down to how you pair it. I really love that cliche Parisian outfit, you know, the bread and stripe top with skinny jeans, a trench coat and some cute flats. And I think that when you look at that outfit as a whole, you can see it's very chic, very put together, and whenever you wear that sort of look, it does very much seem in proportion. I think it's all about the balance of your silhouette. So for me, I have a longer torso and shorter legs, so I try to balance that out by wearing something with a high rise, and I always tuck in my sweaters again because that helps to accentuate my waist, and that is my narrowest part of my body. So I find using simple styling tricks like that can really make a horizontal stripe work for anyone. Rule number 4 is that you need to invest in the classics. I'm talking your white button down, your trench coat, your denim, all of those things. I have talked a little bit in the past about where I like to invest and where I like to save, and I will say across the board that the high street actually have some really good affordable alternatives. Uniqlo is probably one of my favorite places to shop when it comes to finding things that are made from natural fibers. I've gotten great white cotton shirts from there. In the past, I spent over $300 on a Dries Van Noten white shirt, and I have to say it was 100% not worth it. I could have gotten the same quality at a much more affordable price point. So I think if you're adding anything to your wardrobe, you should be shopping around. So you should be looking at the alternatives both on the higher end of the spectrum and on the lower, more budget-friendly end of the spectrum too. The next few are all related to accessorizing. So the first one is that you should take one accessory off before you leave the house. And I think it was Coco Chanel that actually said this and made this rule famous. And I think if you are really a maximalist by nature, then yeah, take one accessory off before you leave the house. But if you tend to dress more minimally, or you kind of go for a more classic take on your jewelry or accessorizing, then definitely just stick to what you have. Sometimes more is more. I personally believe less is more, but more is more sometimes. So that's definitely another one worth breaking. Now, on that topic of jewelry, the next one is that you should not mix metals. Now, I have been mixing metals for years. I think it was around that time that Leandra Medine coined the phrase arm party, and girls were sort of wearing loads of bangles down their arms, that I think we saw mixing metals become a really big thing. And I think it's still something that I see a lot of girls doing today, mixing silver with gold or with rose gold. I think it can look really nice when done well. I think the key to this is actually making sure that you're kind of mixing fine pieces with larger, chunkier items. I think that works really nicely, especially if you've got kind of a few bangles on your hand. For me, as an example of just a piece of jewelry I'm wearing right now, my engagement ring is actually gold with white gold, and white gold can look silver. So I personally don't mind when it comes to mixing metals. Like, I do it quite a lot when it comes to bags and the hardware on my bags. I have a belt which has a silver buckle. I wear this a lot with bags that have gold hardware on it, and I don't mind that juxtaposition. I think it can actually work really nicely. So yeah, another rule worth breaking. The next fashion rule to break is that you should match your accessories. So I'm talking your belt, your bag, and your shoes. They should all be the same color. I used to live by this when I was younger. I used to think it was the epitome of style and that this was how you put together an outfit that looked very chic and elegant and elevated. These days, I think that while it can work really well and it can look super effective, I prefer to mix and match. So I've got a pair of bright red shoes. I would probably wear those with a black or a tan color bag. It feels a bit less obvious and a little bit less contrived. So that's kind of my own personal preference, but I think this one is down to you. If you love that look, you should go for it, rock it. If you've got confidence, it's gonna look good on you. I feel like it was Miu Miu that probably broke this next rule in a really big way, and it's that you should not pair socks with sandals. There was a collection years ago which had all of these beautiful animal prints, like there was shoes with swallows on them and cat prints and daisies, and I will probably put some photos on screen so you can see if you aren't familiar. It was a collection that I was utterly obsessed with at the time, and I really wanted to replicate my own outfit. So I started pairing socks with sandals, and I think it all comes down to the color combination, which I think can make or break the look. Leandra Medine, again, going back to Man Repeller, I think she pulled this off really well, and she did some really crazy print mixing, which is another rule worth breaking. I won't talk about that in this video, but that is another one that I don't think you need to live by. But I will insert some photos on screen just so you can get an idea of how it can look really chic. So definitely one to break. I do not think that it is something that is limited to just wearing as a kid. The next rule to break is that sneakers are just for the gym. And I kind of feel like this myth or this rule has been completely debunked with the rise of fashion sneakers and their popularity over the last few years. I mean, we see so many great sneaker brands these days that are all out for creating fashion sneakers. Golden Goose is one. Veja, I think, is a really good option if you're after a more ethical and sustainable brand. There's also Common Projects. There's a whole bunch. Maybe I'll pop some down in the description box below. But I feel like they are just such a core piece of any wardrobe. I did a video actually showing you how to style sneakers 20 ways. I'm gonna pop that up here if you'd like to go and have a watch. But I think that you can really incorporate them into your outfit in a really chic way that doesn't look too dressed down. So definitely not for the gym. It's all about finding the right pair for you. And then fashion rule number 10, which I think you should break, is that menswear is just for men. I've talked about this before, but some of my favorite finds have come from the men's section or the men's department. I think as women, we are sometimes subjected to a bit of a pink tax, which means that the same quality garments for women tend to be more highly priced than they would be for men, even though there's more fabric. So I love looking in the men's department, not only for bargains, but also because there can be some really interesting shapes and silhouettes, which I think complement my wardrobe nicely. So definitely worth looking into. Like, men's shirts are great, and I also really love knitwear as well from the men's section. I have seen some girls, I think Lizzie from Shop from the Street has previously purchased both shoes and denim from the men's section. So definitely check it out. I do not think that, you know, you only shop from women's. You can definitely mix and match. You do you. If you find something you really like, does it really matter if it was originally designed for a man or a woman? I personally don't think so. Anyway, those are 10 fashion rules that I think are worth breaking. I'd love to know if there are any more. I actually had a huge list, but I wanted to kind of make this video short and snappy. So if you'd like to see a part 2, let me know. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time with a brand new video. See you soon. Bye.